Good morning, squad. Welcome back to MadMizzy Sports Morning Show, the #1 spot for everything sports talk, sports news, sports debate in the morning. Hope y'all had a great, productive, beautiful Monday. We got a sad, somber, crazy rundown this Tuesday. Of course, we got to start it off going back to Monday Night Football, updating y'all and breaking down the injury to Damar Hamlin on Monday Night Football, the postponement of the Monday Night Football game of the Buffalo Bills at the Cincinnati Bengals. What does that mean for each team moving forward? Damar Hamlin, what's going on with him, and will they be able to get this game in time for the regular season or the postseason to start on time? Then we're going to touch on college football playoffs. Go back to Saturday, the semifinals. TCU upsets Michigan 51-45. What did that look like in the epic comeback from the defending national champions, Georgia Bulldogs, over the Ohio State Buckeyes? Then we're going to shift our gear and our focus to the NFL, Sunday NFL, breaking down Packers or the Bucks. Who's the more surprising playoff team right now? Who will end up with the #1 seed in the NFC, my San Francisco 49ers or the Philadelphia Eagles? And then we're going to do an NBA rundown of what's been going on in the NBA so far. Let's get right into it, gang. So what's my reaction to what happened last night, what transpired last night during Monday Night Football of the Buffalo Bills at the Cincinnati Bengals? You had the Cincinnati Bengals driving the ball. You get a pass. Damar Hamlin come up, clean the tackle up. I believe another Buffalo Bill was in on the play as well. Damar Hamlin gets up like nothing happened. Then he just drops to the ground, and according to sources, his heart stopped on the field. He had cardiac arrest on the football field. They had to rush out the medical assistants, the medical personnel to resuscitate him and get his heartbeat going again on the field. Just tip my cap out to the medical staff of both the Buffalo Bills, the Cincinnati Bengals, the private medical people that are working on the sidelines to get his heart back going on the football field. But to me, I'm watching it, I'm looking at the play, I'm like, it's a routine play, it's a tough play. Damar Hamlin plays fast, plays hard, came up, made a nice solid tackle, got up. I'm pretty sure he felt fine. And I knew, to me, that it wasn't like a concussion, because even if it's a concussion and you fall down, you might go to a knee, you're gonna go to your head. He did nothing, he just got up and dropped. In my mind, I'm thinking, is he epileptic? Like the whole time I'm watching the entire following of it as they going from the football field, from the stadium, from the Monday Night Football game to the postponement, to Scott Van Pelt, to being at the University of Cincinnati hospital where they took Damar Hamlin. And I'm just thinking in my mind, is he epileptic? You feel what I'm saying? Is there some type of condition that he has? Because I didn't think it was a football injury because of how Damar Hamlin reacted. He got up fast. I mean, I've seen plays like that happen tons of times in the NFL where a person just gets up, doesn't drop to the ground, and have medical issues. So as they're covering it and they're following Damar Hamlin as they're trying to get news and getting updates on his medical condition, I'm thinking dag, is he epileptic? Does he have a medical condition or something like that? So to me, to hear this morning that he had cardiac arrest, then to me it sounds like, maybe there was some type of impact to his chest at a specific time, like some freak accident stuff, to where it was a delayed reaction to when he got up. But it's just sad to see something like that in the sport that I love, man. This is a sport that I love, and this was just another terrible cherry on top for a very bad optical year for the NFL. When you think about the hits from Tua Tagovailoa, you think about Damar Hamlin, it's been a lot of stuff going on, and we've made so much progress as far as trying to control the bad hits and trying to control some of these head injuries. But yeah, this was a bad year, and what we witnessed happen on Monday Night Football with Damar Hamlin last night was just another terrible cherry on the top of a very bad optical year for the NFL, man. Will they get this game in? I don't see how. It's only 1 week left until the playoffs. They both got to play this upcoming Sunday or Monday. I forget what one of them play again on Monday. But I don't even see how they can think about getting this game back. And I don't know what they'll do with it. But yeah, prayers out to Damar Hamlin. Praying you break through. good news is they did resuscitate him. They did get the heartbeat back going on the football field, so he wasn't being transported to the hospital and they were trying to get his heartbeat still going. So at least it's good news to hear that his heartbeat is back going. Hopefully we get some news out of there that he's awake and responsive this morning or today, later on today. Let's move on though. College football playoffs. We had the semifinals on Saturday, New Year's Eve games. You had TCU upset my Michigan Wolverines. What did I see from that 51-45 upset of TCU over my Michigan Wolverines? To me, we just overlooked TCU. I don't want to take anything away from TCU, but we came in, you had J.J. McCarthy that week. Oh, it's going to be Smash Fest because they play 3-3-5. They from the Big 12. I thought it was going to be Smash Fest. Everybody that watched college football thought it was going to be Smash Fest, the way we just pounded Ohio State and the way that, honestly, TCU hasn't been able to stop the run this season in the Big 12. So they was going to come up against a Big 10 team and stop us when we rely on a run? Yes, they did. Well, they stopped it just enough when you think about I think we had over 150 yards rushing, but we gave up 263 rush yards. I don't think we given up that many rush yards since we played Kenneth Walker against Michigan State last year. So we got gashed defensively, and then you get 2 pick sixes. You give up 14 points on offense. That's not going to bode well, especially when you give up 37 points on offense. So yeah, you can't give up another additional 14 just on 2 plays. Now, 2 picks, that's different than 2 pick sixes. You get what I'm saying? You can't give up 2 pick sixes in the game. And then it was like every time we got close, that big play ability of TCU always reared its head. To me, just tip my cap to TCU. They came out, they heard all the nonsense. Max Duggan was crying after losing the Big 12 championship game. They wanted to come out and show a thing. Did we choke though? Did Jim Harbaugh choke? No, he didn't. We lost to a better team on this day. J.J. McCarthy is a first-year starter, sophomore. A first-year starter as a sophomore. This is his second year in college football, first year starting. Donovan Mitchell was a first year. He wasn't even a starter this year. He's our backup running back and is a sophomore. True sophomore. You think about our 2 stars on offense are sophomores, J.J. McCarthy and Donovan Edwards. No, we didn't choke. No, Jim Harbaugh didn't choke. We came out there with our heads too big. We came out there too confident. That's what it was. Last year, we were just happy to be in the college football playoffs. This year, we came in like, oh, they gave us TCU? Oh, we walking into the natties. We walking into Monday night in L.A. and SoFi. No, you got to go out there and perform. You feel what I'm saying? So, no, we didn't choke. TCU showed up and snatched that game away from us. That's what it was. They made one more play than we did. Me as a Michigan fan, I'm very, very proud of my Michigan Wolverines, and I'm very excited for our bright, bright future. Like I just stated, our 2 stars on offense were sophomores. I wouldn't be surprised if J.J. McCarthy is a Heisman candidate, even more so than Blake Corum was this year. Watch out for J.J. McCarthy next year. What did I see from the Georgia epic comeback on Ohio State? To me, I just seen championship pedigree from the Georgia Bulldogs. When you think about just dogs out there on defense, you seen C.J. Stroud and Ohio State. I'm going to tip my cap to them because they came out there and they tried to take advantage of that second opportunity. They tried to come out there and snatch that crown away from the Georgia Bulldogs. And I'm going to tell you this, I'm happy that the Georgia Bulldogs stopped them, because I would have been sick if we would have punched Ohio State in the mouth in the horseshoe and they still went out and won a national championship. I might have said, forget this MadMizzy Sports stuff. You feel what I'm saying? But no, I would have been very, very sick. Just an epic game. What is shown from Ohio State and what championship pedigree shown by Stetson Bennett, all those dudes on the Georgia Bulldogs and that Georgia Bulldog team. But yeah, to me, it just was discouraging to see that my Michigan Wolverines had an actual chance, a real legitimate chance to win a national championship this year, and we won't even make it to the national championship game. That's my only disappointment from this whole weekend, but I was very, very impressed and very pleased by the performance from my Michigan Wolverines, although we didn't make enough plays to win the game. Georgia just showed their championship pedigree, and then Ohio State, I like what y'all did, and Ryan Day turned y'all around. I thought y'all was going to get punched in the mouth. Let's move on from college football to the NFL. What's the more surprising playoff team, the Green Bay Packers or the Tampa Bay Bucks, with the Green Bay Packers being 1 win away from clinching their playoff berth, and then the Tampa Bay Bucks clinching their playoff berth this past Sunday? To me, it's got to be the Green Bay Packers. When you look at the Tampa Bay Bucks, we knew that the Tampa Bay Bucks were the more talented, way more talented team in the NFC South, and they should win the NFC South. It would have been a shocker if they didn't win the NFC South and make it to the playoffs. You got Tom Brady going up against Sam Darnold, Andy Dalton, and Marcus Mariota / Desmond Ridder. You feel what I'm saying? So if they didn't go out there and win the NFC South, that would have been a way bigger shock to me than the Green Bay Packers not making the playoffs, or the Green Bay Packers making the playoffs after being 4-8 just a month ago. But to me, it's got to be the Green Bay Packers because, like I just stated, they were 4-8 a month ago, went on a 4-game win streak. They're at 500. They are 8-8, 1 win away from clinching their playoff berth after the entire season just looking inept. You got the emergence of Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs, A.J. Dillon, and Aaron Jones doing their thing, carrying the load offensively, just being a ground and pound team, and then hitting those big plays with the young wide receivers. Then you got Randall Cobbs out there mentoring these young wide receivers. So I like what I'm seeing from the Green Bay Packers, but it's an utter shock. It's an utter shock to see that they'll be able to come back and snatch that playoff spot from the Washington Commanders that looked like they were on a roll with Taylor Heineke, and then they wanted to reinsert Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz, who I like, but Taylor Heineke was winning games. You feel what I'm saying? I think Carson Wentz should have stayed with the Indianapolis Colts. They kind of messed that up, and then they took away the thunder that Taylor Heineke had. I really just didn't like what that had. But you think about the Detroit Lions. It was a lot of teams just ahead of them. The Seattle Seahawks, and to think they are 1 win away from clinching that playoff berth, that's amazing to me. That's amazing and a true testament to Aaron Rodgers, Matt LaFleur, and their competitive nature, their championship nature, because he could have threw in the towel. He could have said, no, I'm good. Well, I'll come back next year. No, it's Aaron Rodgers. R-E-L-A-X. Relax. Green Bay Packers, to me, are the more surprising playoff team, probably out of the entire NFL this year. Out of the entire NFL, when you think about how they look for the majority of the season. Let's stay on the NFC. Who will end up with the number 1 seed? San Francisco 49ers, Philadelphia Eagles. Philadelphia Eagles going up against the New York Giants in their last game. My San Francisco 49ers are going up against the Arizona Cardinals and Colt McCoy. I think we will win our game. We will dominate our game. We will pound the Arizona Cardinals, but I feel as though the Philadelphia Eagles will win their game as well. Why we can't have 2 teams with the bye no more? Come on, NFL. Dang, man. I'm like, yeah, we the number 2 seed, but I don't think the Philadelphia Eagles will drop a game to the New York Giants, especially with the New York Giants most likely going to sit their starters out there. I just don't see them going out there and losing. I think that Jalen Hurts is going to go out there. He's going to play just in case they don't get this dub, because he has to play in recent time if he's going to have to play a wild card game in the next 14 days. You get what I'm saying? Like I said, I don't see the Eagles dropping the ball on this one, losing 3 straight games and dropping that number 1 seed that they worked this entire season so hard for. I just don't see it. And Jalen Hurts has to get some time in. But if Gardner Minshew plays, anything can happen. But I think Jalen Hurts will play because he knows how important this game is. He knows how important it is for them to get that number 1 seed just so they can get more healthy. It's not just him. It's not just him. That old line is being beat up. They got some injuries to address across that roster. So they need that number 1 seed and they need that bye. So I'm going to go with the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm going to say the Philadelphia Eagles will eke out my San Francisco 49ers and keep that number 1 seed. But if we get that number 1 seed, y'all might as well book us for the Super Bowl with that home field advantage. Y'all may as well book us for the Super Bowl. Let's do an NBA rundown before we end off episode 85 of MadMizzy Sports Morning Show. Donovan Mitchell scored 72 points in a 145-134 overtime win over the Chicago Bulls. Just Donovan, Spider, Mitchell, the Cleveland Cavaliers, just being very, very dominant. Just the second most points since Kobe Bryant in a win. I'm super impressed from Donovan Mitchell. I always told people I like Donovan Mitchell. I thought he was an explosive scorer that could go off like this on certain games and give us this type of performance. I probably would have never thought 72. I would have thought maybe like a 60 point, you know what I'm saying, a 60 burger, but not no 72 points in a win. Tip my cap to Donovan Mitchell. Then you had Klay Thompson last night scoring 54 points in a 143-141 win over the Atlanta Hawks, 5 in a row since losing to the Brooklyn Nets for the Golden State Warriors, getting back on the winning track, just getting back and rounding into championship form. That's with Steph Curry being out and still dealing with that shoulder injury, expected to be back sometime soon. Let's talk about the Brooklyn Nets, though, the team I just mentioned. 139-103 win over the San Antonio Spurs, 12 straight wins, 2nd seed in the East, 1 game behind the Milwaukee Bucks. They are scary. This is the scariest that the Brooklyn Nets have looked since being constructed as a team, and it's all got to be given to the leadership of Jacques Vaughn and what he's promoting as a coach. He's promoting defense, he's promoting rebounding, he's promoting these dudes to play winning basketball, not hero basketball, not your turn, my turn basketball. You feel what I'm saying? Play as one, play as a unit, and we will be a top team to defend with because they have 2 top stars in the game. You get what I'm saying? You have 2 elite stars in the game. So as long as they're leading and y'all defending and rebounding, there's no way that you shouldn't be a top contender in that Eastern Conference. And that's what they've rounded into. Tip my cap to Jacques Vaughn, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Durant for really taking the bull by the horn and turning this thing around. Turning this thing around in Brooklyn. You feel what I'm saying? This is what we wanted, because now it just adds more intrigue to the playoffs. It just adds more intrigue because we can't just sit up there and say, all right, we're going to sit back and wait for Milwaukee and Boston to face each other. No, y'all better watch out for Brooklyn. You feel what I'm saying? We already knew, all right, you got to watch out for Cleveland. You got to watch out for Philly a little bit. But Brooklyn might be the best team in the East. They might be the best team in the East, and that's just a beautiful sight to see that high-level competition, that people are going out there and wanting this chip. Because to start off the season, it looked like KD was just going through the motions. Kyrie was going to be Kyrie until they fired Steve Nash. Tip my cap to Jacques Vaughn, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving. Like I stated before, this is MadMizzy Sports Morning Show. Let me know what y'all think. Damar Hamlin, man, Monday Night Football reaction for the people that played football, watch football. Have y'all ever seen anything like this before? Prayers out to Damar Hamlin. Hopefully we get some type of news that you're awake and responsive and talking to people today, sometime today, please. College football semifinals, TCU upsets Michigan. Did y'all think that TCU upset of Michigan was more of a reflection of Jim Harbaugh choking again in bowl games? And then what did y'all see from the epic comeback from the Georgia Bulldogs over the Ohio State Buckeyes? Then shifting over to the NFL, what's the more surprising playoff team, the Green Bay Packers or the Tampa Bay Bucks? Who will end up with the #1 seed in the NFC, my San Francisco 49ers or the Philadelphia Eagles? And NBA rundown, Donovan Mitchell scores 72 points in a 145-134 overtime win over the Chicago Bulls. Klay Thompson scores 54 points in a 143-141 win over the Atlanta Hawks. And the Nets get their 12th straight win in a 139-103 win over the San Antonio Spurs. MadMizzy Sports Morning Show. Like, comment, share, subscribe, listen, alert, MizzyWorld Entertainment. Gang.